Since we will be dealing with inequalities, so let's talk about properties of inequalities, and we will try to solve the inequalities. Okay, let us consider A is less than or equals to B is an inequality. Well, the properties that we are going to discuss will also hold for A is greater than B, A is greater than or equals to B, and every kind of inequality. Okay, let A is less than or equals to B is an inequality and C is any real number. Okay. Now the first property is about sum or addition property. It says that if we add same real number to both sides of the inequality, then the inequality does not change. We are able to, or we should be able to add same numbers in both sides of the inequality. And multiplication property says that there are two things to consider for multiplication property. One is if we multiply a positive number on both sides where C is a positive number, then the inequality remains intact. There is no change in inequality. However, if we multiply an inequality by a negative number on both sides, the inequality reverses. That means it will be greater than or equals to. So less than or equals to changes into greater than or equals to. Okay. So this is the key difference between solving an linear inequality and solving an equation. And also multiplication also means division. Dividing both sides of an inequality by a negative number will reverse the inequality. Okay, so to use the properties that we have mentioned a little while ago, let us solve this inequality. Negative 3 by 4x is greater than or equals to negative 5 over 8 plus 2 by 3x. So first of all, what I would like to do is I would try to get rid of the denominators. Okay. To do that, let me multiply both sides by 8 at first, right? So let me multiply both sides by 8. So that means this will give us 8 times negative 3 over 4x is greater than or equals to 8 times negative 5 over 8 plus 8 times 2 over 3x. Okay, multiplying both sides by 8. Since we want to get rid of the largest denominator, okay, then you can see 4 times 2 is 8, 8 and 8 cancels out, and this becomes 16x. Okay, 16x over 3. So then I can write, I hope this thing is clear for you, since we are multiplying by 8, which is a positive number, so this inequality remains intact, nothing changes. So 2 times negative 3 is negative 6x is greater than or equals negative 5 plus 8 times 2 is 16 divided by 3x. Then I would like to get rid of 3. Multiply both sides by 3. Okay, so that means I can write this as 3 times negative 6x is greater than or equals to 3 times negative 5 plus 3 times 16 over 3. Then you can see 3 times negative 6x would be negative 18x is greater than or equals 3 times negative 5 is negative 15, and this is 3 and 3 cancels out, so that's 16x. Alright, so we have successfully removed all the denominators. Now it's slightly easier to calculate. Okay, and here also, since 3 is a positive number, so multiplying an inequality by a positive number won't change the inequality sign. Now let us gather the like terms in one side. So let us subtract 16 from both sides. Okay, let us subtract 16 from both sides, means negative 16x, negative 16x. Okay, negative 18 minus 16x in the left hand side, which is 34. Negative 34x is greater than or equals to negative 15. So let us multiply both sides by negative 34. Okay. Then since we are dividing both sides by negative numbers, so our inequality sign should be reversed. Then here 34, negative 34, positive 34 cancels out. So x is less than or equals to negative negative cancels out, 15 over 34. So that would be our result after we have divided both sides by negative number. Okay. Look here, we have reversed the inequality sign after dividing by negative 34. So be careful. So this is our answer. And let us write this answer in other ways also. By using interval notation, we can simply write 15 over 34. And since x is less than 15 over 34, so we are considering every number which is less than 15 over 34. So that's why we put a square bracket in here since we have equality sign. And then it goes towards left hand side. That means we will have negative infinity in here. So everything is less than 15 over 34. For the graph, we can just write this as 15 over 34 is less than 1. So let's suppose this is 1, this is 0, and this is negative 1, and so on. Then you can see that 15 is slightly lesser than half of 34. So we might want to think this is half. And so this would be the place, tentative place where we have 15 over 34. And it will go in this way. So this is the solution of this inequality.